I feel like this chat's been good.
Same.
I'm going to be going to bed thinking about,
And you're going to be right next to me, which is a shame.
Tell the truth, where would you rather be tonight?
I'd rather be with you.
Welcome back to Romance Review TV with Lady T, and we have another recap of Love Island UK Season 8, Episode 8. And we have a lot to unpack because the new boy in the villa is pulling on the heartstring of several of these ladies. But before we jump into this, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. If you like the video, smash that like button, and also feel free to drop a comment down in the comments section below. So without further ado, let's go ahead and unpack this drama. So, new boy Jacques definitely caused waves in the villa after arriving at the end of last week. Now, Jacques, as we saw, kind of had started off shaking up the whole thing with Luca and Gemma. And now he's pulling Tasha for a chat, despite appearing that he has some interest in Paige, and we'll even see later on Ekin-Su. Now, Tasha has caught the attention of him as he, as I said, pulled for a chat. Tasha told Jacques that she is still interested in Andrew, but added that the connection is still fresh, kind of leaving a little wiggle room for Jacques to make his move in the future. Now, Tasha is, as I said, coupled up with Andrew. However, while all that conversation was going on, he claimed that he could care less about it, and prompting this whole feisty response that he got from Luca. Now, Luca told Andrew that he should just admit to being bothered by the conversation before being sarcastic enough to tell him that he must not even like her because of how he was acting. Now, despite Andrew clarifying that he did say he didn't care, not because he didn't care or like her, but because he trusted Tasha to tell him that, if she wanted to get to know him, he would be open to hearing that. So that whole confrontation ended with Andrew storming away from the fire pit, saying that Luca hadn't listened to a word he said. So it's looking like Indiyah and Ikenna is growing a little closer. So they finally got some screen time in this episode. They had a really sweet interaction after Luca and Andrew's confrontation. Now, the two of them appear to be stalling after Indiyah voiced concerns that Ikenna wasn't showing signs that he was interested in continue to couple up. However, Ikenna put her fears to rest, opening up to her about his relaxed nature. Now, the couple did end up sharing a kiss to conceal their conversation, and I like this interaction because I wasn't feeling Ikenna for a minute because of the fact that he was claiming to treat her like one of the boys, but she was comfortable enough to pull him in for a kiss, and they shared the sweet kiss to seal the deal and the conversation. And then, of course, we'll see later in the episode that Ikenna was seen making an effort even to cook breakfast for her, with Indiyah saying that those little gestures let her know that, of course, that he is interested in her. So I'm liking the progression. I wasn't feeling this coupling at first, but look like we're making a little bit of progress, and Indiyah definitely thinks so as well. And actually, the kiss looks really sincere because they went back in for a second time. They had the first kiss, and then they turned around and kind of cuddled up in the corner and kissed some more. So I'm happy to see that. So we got another couple Amber and Dami, they receive a message that they will be treated to their first date together outside of the villa with this whole tennis match. Now, while the score might not end it in 30 love, romance was certainly in the air as the couple sat down to discuss their blossoming new relationship. So we also get to see how Amber teased him about his competitive nature after they had their tennis match, saying, "You hate losing, don't you?" Now, Dami, who chose Amber at the last recoupling, told her that this side of his personality would make it difficult for any islanders to break them up, saying that it's a good thing because then that means that I won't lose you in the villa. It's a real good thing. So the two of them ended the romantic date by confirming that they are not interested in anyone else in a villa before they, of course, start feeding each other the fruit, which I thought that was cute too. And they even shared a kiss. So I'm really happy about the progression of this couple. He looked like he is all in, and so is she. So it looked like besides Ikenna and Indiyah kind of making some moves to stay as a couple, so is this one. So now let's talk about this conversation with Tasha and Andrew. So Tasha got a whiff of that whole thing that Luca kind of stirred up about him not really caring. And he tried his best to explain to Tasha that I wasn't acting like I wasn't caring about you or that I didn't like you. It was the fact that I trust your decision for you to be open and honest with me if you want to be able to have conversations with someone that come in the house. However, as much as she appreciated that, she also told him we need to take a step back. And this is the second time Tasha did this. She did it before the recoupling. Then she saw him interested in somebody else. And then she pulled him back in. And now she's back on the outside because of that whole thing. Let them just stay broken up at this point. And hopefully some new folks will come in and they'll just, find another connection that way. So then we have Ekin-Su. Now, Ekin-Su is feeding off of the attention that she's getting from Jacques. They have had some interaction on yesterday's episode, and it continues today. Now, from what we saw, she started, because of the fact that Jacques is giving her some attention, now she's trying to pull back from Davide. And this whole interaction between these two was tense. And I mean sexually charged and tense. So much so that you need to see it for yourself.
I feel like this chat's been good.
Same.
I'm going to be going to bed thinking about it,
And you're going to be right next to me, which is a shame.
Tell the truth, where would you rather be tonight?
I'd rather be with you.
Yeah, so I mean, first it was Liam, then Davida, now Jacques. So she's definitely playing the game. Hopefully she don't play herself and end up out because of time that she's wasting. But speaking of Jacques, he's now back to trying to make a connection with Paige. Now, Paige, again, is a very sweet girl. Their conversation had a pretty much a solid foundation because of the fact that they talked about things that they like to do, a lot of the stuff that they have in common. Jacques actually enjoyed the conversation and the connection that they had. Now, back to Ekin-Su. Ekin-Su go and have a conversation with Davida. Now, Davida, I don't know if you guys actually saw the episode, but so much so he acted like Andrew, as if he didn't care, and giving them bottles of wine, saying that, it's getting late. Here's something. I'm serving you something to drink to keep you hydrated. Yeah, but underneath all of that bravado, yeah, he was a little insecure. So much so that when they ended up together and he got a chance to talk to Ekin-Su, he had something to prove with this. Yeah, he had something to prove, to try to put something on her mind. And it looked like it might have worked because she was very, very impressed. Now we have a conversation with Jacques and Afia. Now, Afia really hasn't had a connection formed in the villa at all. But they tried, I guess, to make some form of a connection. I'm like, it's a day late and a dollar short in this situation. And that conversation was so surface level. You can tell that they were pretty much forcing it because it's just nothing there. Now, even though she said, oh, she would like to get to know him and, he seems like a really great guy, it just wasn't working. We didn't get a lot of Gemma time today, but we do see that Luca is all smiles because in this particular conversation, Gemma is pretty much giving him a little reassurance and still talking about how Paige and Jacques would make a better couple. And of course, that is music to Luca's ears because that means that Jacques seemingly is off her radar. So then Amber received a text for all of the islanders to gather around the fire pit immediately. Then it was noted to both Paige and Afia to be called to wait in front of the pit. Now, with the other couples already matched up, of course, you can see it coming a mile away. We lost Liam in that shocking exit, so Paige and Afia was spared at that particular chop. But this week, their luck seems to has ran out. So the two of them were left single, as we all know. Paige has been building a relationship with Jacques, which seems to put her, on a good foot with him. And Afia, of course, from what we saw, was the one that was dumped from the island, with the other islands giving off, of course, this whole teary scene. But here you go, and you can see it live for yourself.
The girl I'd like to couple up with, Paige.
Which, of course, meant that Afia was dumped from the island, with, of course, the other islanders giving her a very, very teary send-off. And it's just interesting at this point how fast this thing could go. You have to make a connection and build upon it before you dumped off the island. And she said that she was ready, so unfortunately we'll probably see her on the outside. But as for now, she is no longer on Love Island.
Don't roll your eyes and be a prick. It's a genuine mistake. I'm sorry. There's nothing more to it.
And two new boys.
And we have two new boys in the villa, and they're ready to break up some couples. And it's only two right now that's solid. So we'll see what happens. So the official couples that we have currently is Gemma and Luca, Tasha and Andrew, Amber and Dami, Indiyah and Ikenna, Ekin-Su and David, Jacques and Paige. Now, I will say, despite choosing to say Paige, Tasha and Ekin-Su seem to have also caught the eye of Jacques, while Luca has been up front in his preference for Gemma, with fans, of course, commenting on his keenness for, Gemma. And Amber and Dami and Indiyah and Ikenna appears to be all in on their coupling so far. But you know what this is. This is Love Island. So who knows who could walk through that door and stir things up in the villa. So I hope you enjoyed this recap of Love Island UK Season 8, Episode 8. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you soon. Bye.